Let's see that thing you picked up, that dagger.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I take the bag of holding and I pull out this sword that's got like rubies or jewels or something.
It's on the like lengthwise on the shorter scale of a greatsword.
Okay.
But it is quite wide. The blade itself is like a large, thick blade with a cruciform hilt on it, and there are rubies embedded in it. It's like a solid, smooth platform. It's a beautiful-looking blade.
Dope. FCG, you still got any stank to figure out?
I do, if you need me to check it out.
Let's do that.
All right, my lens pops down and little beams of laser light come out and scan it up and down. Forms a 3D model of it in my brain. I turn it around.
Showing it off. This is just showing
Just see like Terminator, like analysis. What do I see?
You see a beautiful blade that's referred to as Graz Tachar, the Luminary Blade.
The Luminary Blade.
The minute you look over it and hold it in your hand, a voice comes through into your mind. It says, "Child of creation, strange being of metal and will, there is much darkness in this world that must be dispelled, and you have a great destiny before you. Perhaps together we could do great things and turn this world right."
Oh wow. Are you a god?
Who are you talking
No.
to?
I am no god, but I was once a great king.
A king?
What?
Wait, what's your name? Hi, smiley day to you. I'm Fresh Cut Grass. Can you see?
I cannot see. I just feel the presence of a hand on my hilt. I need a stronger connection, but even so, I fear that what took me also took from me my memories.
Oh no.
All I have now is knowledge of the darker shadows that creep across this land.
Do you remember who was wielding you before?
Previously, I was being misused by some horrid thing. An essence of that same corruption that seeps into these lands. The forces that crawl into the back of minds and make them minions of shadow and realms far more dangerous and nightmarish than what you've seen. That is what I stand against. That is what we could stand against together.
And I assume you're like a little cloudy on who was before, since it's probably been a while.
I've passed through a few hands. I was once held by a just warrior within a great stronghold, but then taken.
Famous Grey Warrior stronghold.
Previous to that,
taken.
I was once held by a keeper of beasts.
Keeper
and
of beasts.
brought through the
before that?
wilds of the land.
Just
They saw little interest in the
things.
cities and
Oh my
townships,
God.
and we did not see eye to eye
No.
until they were slain by the very beasts they sought to control, and I was left alone for some time.
Beast idiot was eaten by animals as beast idiots often
Before
are.
that, I was held by a family, passed down through three generations.
So a family for 3 generations. I don't know if they all shared it, if it was just like one group.
They had dark aspirations,
They
and
were
were left
evil.
broken
All of them.
and poor.
And then they suffered.
I was sold in an auction house once.
It was... Okay, it's getting weird. There was an auction involved.
There's one more thing I can try if you want to give him back.
We're going to have a couple other people talk. Very interesting. Thank you for all of that. I'm going to toss them over to you.
First of all, it's a very powerful blade. And if you're keen on it, you feel free.
Ooh.
Very powerful.
Okay.
I will try one more thing just to glean some information from it. I'm going to cast my 5th level Legend Lore.
Legend lore.
If it's legendary or has importance, I'll get some information. And if it's not,
What kind of materials do you need for Legend Lore?
incense, which I have. 4 ivory strips, which I think I bought. Right there, got them.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah.
You cast Legend Lore as you hold this blade upon it, and the blade itself shines beautifully in the low light that is held within this chamber. What you do here, through the weave of magic,
I'm gonna go into my deep, deep memory banks.
those who wield this blade carry behind it a powerful will. The radiance is a curtain. Behind it, that which is burned away.
The radiance.
The radiance is a curtain. That which
Behind it.
has burned.
That which behind is burned away.
The light is false.
It's evil.
The blade does corrode. The metal, that of the prince's will.
Prince's will.
Prince.
Prince.
Like,
Oh my god, he's the demon prince. The demon prince.
yes.
Rugalun.
Brutally, yeah, that's right.
There are a bunch of Fruit of the Loom.
There are a bunch
Fruit of the
there are a
Loom.
bunch of princes.
It's a trick. The sword's a trick. I'm not going to say that out loud.
Did you not just say? Did you also just say I'm not going to say that out loud? Is
That part I said
possible?
out loud. All right, here you go, Chetney.
Speak to me, grandfather.
It's very powerful.
Oh, cool.
Dick.
You can do your thing.
Whenever everyone's ready. We don't have much time. If we're gonna eat, we should do it now.
Chet, you alive?
Some days these joints, I just don't know.
Did you roll?
Oh, shit.
You alive?
Wasn't asking
And
for
if he
roll.
dies right now,
You
it's
can roll.
what do you have to roll to die?
Trip zeros, I think. Right, that's 100.
Yeah, it's a 0-0 on the one dice and then
I
0
don't
on the
like
other.
this.
I love it.
It's the closest.
Whoa!
Yeah.
What was it?
It's okay.
What was it?
We're good. We're good.
It was close.
We're good.
Hey, I don't think he's,
Let's just say it was close.
I don't think he's breathing. Oh,
Did
jeez.
it freak you out for just a second when you looked at it?
Yeah.
I know y'all are worried about him, but with the sword.
Oh.
But I feel like if it gets out of hand, I can just it's a curse, so I feel like I can take care of it.
Oh, great.
So.
So let him use it. If it's strong.
Well, yeah, maybe.
It's a big
What could a
sword.
talking weapon even do?
I don't know. He barely listens to us.
Yeah. I
This
don't
cave
think
is so small.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah, okay.
We're getting out.
can
I
hear
saw we're
everything.
losing air in here. I can feel it.
It's also a little musty. Yes,
smells
because
bad.
of that.
Look, it was a rough night.
God, open it up.
Trying to sit up in the bed as the energy and arrival as they rush in, but they assure her to lay down. They help her back down. Her, crown, which rests off the side of the bed, now less presentory in the sudden arrival. They immediately begin treating her wounds, kind of placing this paste within them. You see her face begin to scrunch up from a sting or some sort of an unexpected sensation, but they carefully, rapidly, with deft hands and the surgical intent of a healer, each one of these members of the Ashari Herbalist Union tends to their leader. As they begin to treat the arms, the paste seems to be absorbed into the skin, kind of leaving behind a faint blue coloration. And you watch as her furrowed brow begins to relax. And she reaches onto the side of the bedstand and looks toward the herbalists, and they nod. And she pulls out of this nearby pouches, looks like a small hand gathering of dried leaves and bits of some sort of a colored dust. And she closes her eyes and places it across one of the wounds. And you see this faint glow of light seems to spread from her hand. And the first wound begins to close.
Do you need help closing the other ones?
Somebody goes,
Oh, sorry. You said.
Pat him lightly, metal shoulder.
with that realization, the dearth of energy that she's carried since your arrival seems to subside by half in but a moment, as a flash of hope and energy reaches her eyes. She immediately kind of almost gives a glance of impatience to the other herbalists as they're applying the balm over these wounds, but she lets them finish their work. And with each absorption, each one of these wounds, she begins to place her hand upon it. And with each wound closure, eventually strength returns to her. stronger and stronger. Eventually she sits up, pulls back the sheet, and you can see one of the large gashes on her leg. They apply the balm, and she's not even paying attention to it as they do, but she reaches back and takes her crown, kind of brushes her hair back, and sets it upon her brow. She puts her hand in front of herself, glances out to the long window, the curtains open out towards the beautiful cityscape of Zephrah. She mutters beneath her breath as the wind in the room begins to pick up, and you watch as her whole body glows a bright green, and all the remaining wounds vanish in but a moment. As the herbalist steps back and the light subsides, she smiles and looks down to the edge of the bed for a second, and looks back towards you, Orym. Well, you have my thanks.
I'm happy we could help.
She stands up, and the long robe that she wears over her dress drags behind the ground. Her staff still leaning against the edge of the bed as she comes forward and kneels before you and takes your hand in both of hers. Thank you.
I really haven't felt like I've done anything right for a while now, so it's good to have a win.
She looks over towards FCG. We have much to talk about. Give me a moment to re-engage my people. They've been a bit nervous, my state being as it is. And I'd like to talk with you and all your compatriots that helped. Your blood carries elemental power, but not that of the normal Earthkin and Genasi in general. You carry a fragment of primordial elemental capability within you.
Wait, what?
What?
The best way I can describe it is your Titan of blood.
Oh, Titan blood!
Tattoo that shit on your neck!
Titan nobility?
Ashton, a Titan of blood.
Oh my
What does that
god.
mean? He's a Titan?
He's got Titan
I know
shit.
this. A friend of mine once carried an artifact that bore the shard of one of the Titans.
That's you.
You're a good dad.
Your potential is vast and frightening, and I'm glad to have you at Orym's side.
I take off my jacket really quickly and I turn it around and I show the hourglass symbol that is very vaguely Ashari and looks a little bit like the Ashari crest and maybe with a highlight of the earth. I've dreamed this for my whole life and I have no idea what it was.
She looks like she simultaneously had an epiphany and is frustrated. Maybe it came at a great cost, but the Ashari did something.
Yeah. Apparently.
That is their symbol, an extension of their bastardization. Now, I had no contact with them, but I know their leader, Terran, waxed poetic about all the tales of his journey, aside from somehow acquiring the blessing of Avantravir, which even that is up for debate. Avantravir. The fabrications of his journey have been largely disproven. Maybe it's no coincidence the natural spirits of the Eidolons took to you on Silra.
Do you know where I could learn more? I don't know. I don't know anything.
She thinks.
And then when this happened, everything got even stranger.
I'm uncertain if those two get along yet.
Of which two?
Oh boy.
When we looked into his mind, FCG and I, it was like his mind held every possibility of his existence all at once.
It was like a fun house that but no mirrors, just different.
The fact that you stand here and function is a testament to your willpower, I'll tell you that.
Thank you.
Oh. What happens if his willpower gets a bit slippy? Great.
Look, all of us are taking time bombs if we're being real.
Cheers to that.
I don't know.
Orym, you've certainly gathered a motley crew. That's not a judgment. I've walked with a few myself.
Tried to make sense of it. I eventually just gave up trying.
That's the key, I think. Put a little trust and just ride the chaos that comes. If you...
Yeah. I mean, if we manage to survive or otherwise, I don't know where I would figure out how to make them not fight. I don't really know how I work.
If the destruction of the Shishari was at the hand of making you, then they must have had something with them, something of power, something that held the essence of the ancient primordials, and they were... I don't know where they would have acquired that unless the Avantravir story has some truth to it, in which case, that might be your best bet.
Find out about Avantravir.
Pardon me all.
Yeah, no.
Avantravir, the great tree of atrophy.
Tree of atrophy?
Is that what Avantravir... Wait, what?
Avantravir is the tree of atrophy.
Great tree of atrophy.
It's a powerful ancient tree spirit whose roots supposedly winds between the realms of life and death to watch over the cycle of renewal. Its home, however, is on the island of Keyleth, in the mists of the Shattered Teeth.
Island of what? Say it again.
Island Keyleth? Right? Is that what you said?
Keyleth.
Have we ever heard of the Shattered Teeth before?
The Shattered Teeth is...
I know, I have too.
It's more or less... Asking Keyleth.
Wait, what's the Shattered Teeth?
Yeah.
The Shattered Teeth is one of the known continents of Exandria. It is a cluster of numerous islands to the south of Wildmount that is largely shrouded in mists and dubious to travel to outside of magical means, and challenged by competing factions and peoples within. It's kind of its own thing.
It's the Wild West, baby.
Possibility as well.
Or we could just go straight to the Shattered Teeth.
Tempest, I've seen this group do amazing things.
They're really good.
Hey, I'm not judging. I've walked around with a bunch of slapdicks for a big part of my early life.
Who you calling slapdick?
Not you.
I'll tell you a story about a goldfish one day.
Really?
Everything eventually becomes funny.
Some things transcend time.
I see a bravery in you that matches the immensity of your heart. You carry much weight. I recognize it because I carry my own. Some days it may not seem fair. It isn't. But find the strength to lift yourself up heavy as it all may be, and still take that step. When the others rally, she gestures out beyond the window to the still sounds of celebration in the square. They will help you carry it. Orym of the Arashari, you are a paragon in the memory of dear Derek and his son, your partner, Will. You are a heart buffeted by the winds of change and the cold of reality, yet you continue to move forward. You are hope. You are Orym, my friend. You are Orym, savior blade of the tempest. And you are never alone.
It all feels real heavy. 'Cause I'm real small. But like vines, we grow together. I'll try to do you and Derek proud.